Okay, good to hear from, sorry, good to see.
Can you hear me? All right. Right. Good to see so many future SST students and parents. Right. I'm Wei, and I'm going to start talking about the DSA process. But I think it's good to set the context for my sharing. Right. The DS process in SST is a unique one. So I'm going to share with you two key ideas before we go on to look at the details. The first is the intent. The DSA process allows SST to choose and select students who are best suited for the experience we are provided, not necessarily the best student, right? So the keyword is best suited. Second thing, the process allows us to select students in a holistic way. And I mean holistic in terms of we're not looking at a particular area of the child, but every single aspect of the child, from his CCA, his or her CCA experience, school results, as well as their performance in the test that we conduct in SST. So two keywords. It is about best suited students, and it is about holistic assessment. Next, please. So I'm going to adjust my sharing slightly differently because I saw a lot of questions about DSA in the questions below. So I think the first thing is that the talent area for SST is STEAM, all right? Science, tech, engineering, aesthetics, and mathematics. So if you go to the MOE centralized portal, you will select STEAM. And there are three key criteria that we use to assess whether the child is best suited for SST. Right, we're looking at ability, potential, and interest. Right, how would that manifest in your child's records? So we will be able to see the child's school results. We will be able to see the child's performance in our own internal test, and we will see from the range of activities experience that the child experienced for the last 3 years in their primary school, and that will give us a gauge of how where the child stands in terms of their suitability. And I think I need to highlight that just because child meets all the criteria, it doesn't guarantee that the child will be selected. Okay, the QR code on the extreme right is basically the details of what I've shared. Before that, I think I also want to address this thing about the female and male ratios in SST. The girls represent about a quarter of the population in SST. But you will have seen from the sharing from my colleagues that they may be the 1/4 of the cohort, but they stand up at the same level as the boys in SST, sometimes even better. And there was one question about the required or the minimum requirement for AL. So in SST, we only offer express course. And based on what we have experienced last year, the indicative AL score will be about 20 and below. Next. So what would the process look like for the DSA in SST? So 5th May to 1st June is the application period for DSA. We will need you to go to the MOE portal to register using your SingPass. And then once we receive the results shortly after, we'll be calling up all applicants on one of the days, either 21st or 22nd of June. So just one day, and all applicants will be invited for the test. After the test, then we will do our first round of shortlisting. And in August, either the 6th or 13th of August, we'll be inviting shortlisted candidates to come for the second round. So before I go on to the last part, I think parents asked about the written test. So my response is that this is basically a STEAM-based challenge, meaning that it's not only math or science questions. It is really looking at real-world problems, and the math and the science as well of it is infused into the questions. Do you need to prepare for it? We have designed the test in such a way that no preparation is required. We do not over-test the students, so there's no need to go for additional workshops or courses for this. It will be done in SST. It will be a physical test in SST. Okay, with regards to the phase 2 test, STEAM challenge, this is going to be a group-based activity. It will be done in SST, face-to-face, with the teachers from SST. What you're going to expect is that the students or the candidates will be asked to solve some real-world problems in groups, and there will be interviews in a group so that the teachers will be able to assess whether or not the child is best suited for SST. So after going through the whole process from 5th of May all the way to 13th of August, that's where the school with the selection panel will go into the final shortlisting, and latest by the 12th of September. This is the time where SST will inform all the parents or students about the outcome of their DSA portal, DSA selection process. And then after that, the rest of the process will come after the release of the PSLU results. Just before I end my sharing, there's one question about supplementary intake exercise, which happens at the end of November. My response is that SIE would only take place if we still have vacancies for the DSA exercise. So it's not a given, but it would only happen if there are vacancies. All right. With that, I will stop. Hand over the time to Nor. Thank you, Nor.